here today with Mark Tidwell. Mark, tell us your official title at Oak Hills Church here in San Antonio.
Yes, I'm one of the executive ministers, and my responsibility is over the ministries at Oak Hills.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've been hearing stories. I know people that go to Oak Hills. And Oak Hills is big enough where a lot of people know people that go to Oak Hills.
Right.
And you guys are, before all this started that we're going to talk about today, where was your membership at?
We were averaging about 5,000 at our main campus at Crown Ridge, and roughly 600 at our first satellite and about 200 at our second satellite.
So all in all, 5,500 to 6,000 people roughly in that area coming.
Right, right.
And then you guys launched something, brand new pastor, Pastor Randy Frazee hits town, on the ground running, gets with Max. There's some conversation with the staff, I'm sure. Y'all make an announcement, and what happened? What was the announcement, and then what happened the first week?
Well, I think one of the big issues was that Max and Randy have this great working relationship and are committed to work together as we go down the road of expanding into our communities. And so what they decided to do was to teach for roughly a 31-week period, that is most of a year, covering the entire Bible, starting in the book of Genesis and going through Revelation, but to do it by using an existing tool, one that's produced by Zondervan, called The Story. And The Story is a chronological, abridged version of the entire Bible. Takes it in 31 chapters, and each week, either Randy or Max teach on that chapter, and we have an integrated study that the whole church is doing in our adult Bible fellowship classes, in our children's, in our students, in our small groups. We're doing it across the board in all of our people. And that just generated a great excitement of being able to go back to the Bible and just look at, not that we hadn't been Bible-based all along. Max had done a wonderful job teaching through the Bible, but we just had a very concentrated, intentional effort to start in Genesis and go all the way through.
And the first week, this is what sort of surprised, I think, even you guys, other than the regular membership that was showing up for worship and Sunday school like always, who else came?
Yeah, well, we're not exactly sure where all of the folks came from. We have surveyed our congregation since then, and some of the influx of folks were people who had visited Oak Hills in the past and had either chose to worship somewhere else or maybe just weren't worshiping anywhere at the time. Some were new to us from the very beginning. So we had a little bit of both.
And how many are we talking about?
Well, we are now averaging over 8,000 at those campuses.
Wow.
Now, we have a couple of things that helped us with that. One, we expanded our facility at our first satellite, which is called Journey Fellowship, out on I-35 in Schertz Parkway. It's where the old Bluebonnet Dance Hall Palace used to be. We formerly rented the back portion of that, which we had seating for about 300 or so, and we would have several services. Well, now we have actually purchased that building and have renovated it, and now we have seating for about 800. We're still having 2 services as well as one on Sunday evening, but now we're averaging about 1,000 there. So that's helped a lot.
I got to get this straight. Max, sort of, he doesn't leave. He's not leaving. He's still there.
Absolutely.
But he sort of steps aside and gives some responsibility up, particularly in terms of senior pastoralship.
Absolutely.
New guy comes into the city that probably a lot of people have never heard of. Of course, I've read some of Randy's or know about some of Randy's books. So a new guy steps in, and you grow by 2,000 people.
That's right. It's all about God and what God's done. And you know, we have a couple of remarkable brothers there. We have a wonderful group of leaders at Oak Hills, and we have a congregation that really is excited about reaching into the city. And that's one thing that excites us about what Transform SA is doing, is that it's an effort to bring a lot of people together. And we are, Duke, one of the things that we're trying to repeat over and over again is that we are committed to connecting in our communities. Yeah. We want to connect in community, and that means in community of our church, that means in the communities of our neighborhoods, community around our schools, and connect with the broader community of Christ's body in our city. And we know we can't reach the city of San Antonio alone. Even if we're 8,000 or 10,000, we can't reach it alone. We have to unite with other Christ followers. And so what Transform SA is doing is exciting for us, and we're anxious to see, you know, how God's going to use that to help bring His people together across our city. Because ultimately, we want to reach those that don't know Him.
Yep.
We don't want to just attract people from, you know, a good church here to come to another church building. We really want to reach those that don't know Christ. And so to whatever degree we can work together, well, we're all for it.
I'm just sitting here thinking, Mark, that probably there is a pastor, a ministry leader who's been laboring in the vineyard perhaps for years in San Antonio and maybe is disappointed, maybe discouraged.
Yeah.
And so what I'd like for you to do, just as we close, if you could just pray an expectant spirit into that brother.
Yeah.
You guys had no idea this
Yeah.
was going to happen. How do you go from 6 to 8 in almost overnight? And
Yeah.
so would you just pray for them and encourage them and release on them just this spirit of expectancy?
Absolutely. Oh, great King, I thank you for the opportunity to be just a very small, small piece in your kingdom. God, all the good things that you're doing in our city we know are just a small little nugget of what you really want to do here. And so I just pray that you would, Father, come quickly with encouragement and with comfort and with a sense of expectancy to those that are really just in the depths of despair right now. Maybe there's discouragement because they haven't seen any growth in a while. And Father, I would just ask that you would lift up your servants, that you would help them have a sense of your working in their lives personally and in those believers' lives that they're working with. And God, would you just come quickly to open up doors and to attract your church throughout this city to work together, Father, that we could truly be the demonstration to our city that needs it so much. Father, please soften the hearts of those that don't know you, and then send us to be your ones that draw them to you. That's our prayer now, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Mark, quickly, if somebody wants to know more about this program, how do they find out information?
Absolutely. You can go to oakhillschurch.com, and there's a link there to the story, which is what it's called, the study through the Bible. We also have an individual site called thestorynow.net that you can go to.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir, brother.